Hello everyone, I am Grand Royson, welcome to new video. Today I am going to explain the truth behind the Double Dungeon. The Double Dungeon event being a major catalyst for Sung Jin-woo's growth and the overall plot of the story, many of us sure to be intrigued to find out the truth of the event. While some may think that the Double Dungeon is just one unfortunate event, that would not be the case. As with many things in the solo leveling series, a mastermind lurks behind the scenes. But who is this mastermind, and what are his intentions behind the plot? The Double Dungeon was supposed to be just another D-rank dungeon that low-level hunters could use to gain experience and profits. Because of the nature of the dungeon, even the weakest-ranked hunter, Sung Jin-woo, was permitted entry. However, what was supposed to be a walk in the park for most would turn out to be the worst nightmare for many. After conquering the actual D-rank dungeon, a double dungeon, a dungeon within a dungeon, comes into play. Ordinarily, this is a rare event in the world of hunters, and the S-rank hunters are supposed to be contacted. However, as it's a D-rank dungeon, Sung Jin-woo and his party vote to continue without informing their superiors. Unfortunately, on entering the dungeon, their hopes are skewed and dashed as they encounter statues that could be synonymous with death itself. Interestingly, the world's weakest hunter turns out to be the smartest of his party members and figures out the tricks on which the dungeon operates. Unfortunately, even after figuring out the rules, people are now allowed to leave the dungeon, but it is not enough, as Sung Jin-woo loses a leg in the process and is left behind as a person who has to be sacrificed for others. While the Double Dungeon event was unlucky and saw several brutal deaths, Sung Jin-woo's sacrifice would turn out to be his greatest boon, as he has now become a player, a hunter who levels up. While he must still achieve many of his strengths and stats through training in hard-fought battles, as a hunter who can level up, Sung Jin-woo's potential goes from being the worst to being the most promising. All other hunters can't increase their strength, as it is set in stone. But Sung Jin-woo, with sufficient determination and drive, could reach the top. After the dungeon, Sung Jin-woo sees tremendous growth in himself and his abilities after a short while. As he grows stronger, he begins to accustom himself to his player status as one who uses the system to his benefit. Although Sung Jin-woo may have gotten a ton of benefits as a player, it is revealed that there was a mastermind behind the events, and interestingly, his encounter with the Double Dungeon was not as random as he or many others thought. Interestingly, two masterminds are behind the Double Dungeon, one is present in the dungeon, and the other is Ashborn, the Shadow Monarch, former. While many of us would think the statue of God is the mastermind that was present, reality points to the angel who had the commandments instead. This is revealed when Sung Jin-woo gets to level 100 and is invited back to where it all began. When Sung Jin-woo returns to the Cartenon temple at level 100, he realizes that the only one who has magical power in the dungeon is the angel with the commandment tablet. This shows just how weak Sung Jin-woo and his party were, as none of them even noticed. The angel goes by the name, the Architect, and he reveals the original purpose of the dungeon. The original plan and purpose of the Double Dungeon were to choose a vessel for Ashborn, the Shadow Monarch, a being so great that many vessels were incapable of holding his power. But if he were so powerful, then how would the world's weakest hunter be a suitable vessel for him? Sung Jin-woo was not chosen because he was the world's weakest hunter, but because, despite being the world's weakest hunter, he had come across death so many times, faced it in the eyes, and defied it again and again. Ashborn, the Shadow Monarch, ruled over the dead, and after witnessing Sung Jin-woo's skill in defying death, he was chosen. After that, Sung Jin-woo went through a series of tests to build up his vessel. While Ashborn was supposed to possess Sung Jin-woo like Sukuna possessed Itadori, but without restrictions, Ashborn had other plans and betrayed the Architect. He then gave Sung Jin-woo his black heart, allowing him to be, in name and skill, the Shadow Monarch. Seeing as how the Double Dungeon was not a random lucky event but one orchestrated by the Architect, many questions pop up. Why did Ashborn not wish to come back to life? Why did a being as powerful as himself allow a human to hold control of his power and decide the fate of the world? To all these questions, the answer would simply be that Ashborn chose a successor he deemed worthy, and that's it. Perhaps he got tired of existing, or he simply truly believed that Sung Jinwoo would make an excellent monarch. No one can say for sure. But he did use the double dungeon as a means to pick a successor rather than a vessel, as the architect had presumed. If you like this video, please like, subscribe and share for more. Thanks you all, meet you in another video.